Hey guys, I'm Mac McCarty, back to you again with the Rough and Tumble channel. This story was on the Amico Cheers Station down in the Sabine River bottoms, all kind of out from Carthage, Texas a ways. And this was a big gas compressor station. It had a pretty good sized building there, had 3 huge gas compressors in it. Now, when I say huge, those engines were so big that they had a stairwell where you walked upstairs to go up and look and work on top of that engine. It's been a long time. I don't remember how tall those things were, but they were absolutely huge and big old compressors. And they pumped a lot of gas out of that facility. They surely did. And the old operator there had called me, and they had people install 2 huge vent fans up in each end of that big compressor building. And of course, they were way up there, way high. And my job was going to be to run that rigid steel conduit, threaded conduit from the source all the way up to each of those fans and get it where they could use fans to get some circulation of air out of that building. And of course, in this environment, it all had to be class 1, I think division 1, and which meant explosion proof wiring. All the fittings, everything was real heavy duty, because they didn't want a fire or an explosion there. These places, they're dangerous environments, And so the operator, he told me and this apprentice, I knew the guy, I'd done a good bit of work down there, but this apprentice with me hadn't. He had never been in there, and he was new to doing electrical work. He didn't have a clue. That's all right. You got to teach them. You just got to show them. And this guy lined us up, and he walked around in the plant there, and we came to a mercoid rack. Well, it's called mercoid because these switches, a lot of control switches for safety that would shut the plant down in the event, something got too high pressure here or something was going on over here. It was safety to protect personnel and equipment. And they're called mercoid because these switches had little tubes of mercury that would literally tilt, and there'd be contacts in them, and when that fluid would hit both contacts, it would make the circuit. And so, or if it was made, it would break it, one or the other. Well, he said, whatever you do, don't bump this panel board here. Because all these switches, you just bump them, you'll shake that mercury, and it'll shut this facility down. And he said, that creates a lot of work for me. And I said, yes, sir, I understand. I said, we will sure be careful around your rack right there. Okay. Well, he went on about his business, and we went on about ours. And we started getting pipe, running pipe down the wall. It was up a ways on the walls, and we were working down through there. Well, we got around to where we went around a corner, and then there was that mercoid rack with all those mercury switches, and got the conduit turned, and the next piece was going right across the top of that rack, up about probably 5 or 6 feet above it. But we had ladders set at each end of that rack, and a 10-foot joint would clear, with a couple, 3 feet left over. And there were some pipes coming over to the switch, the mercoid rack. And so we knew we didn't want to drop anything on them. We had to be very, very careful. Now, keep in mind, I know most of you wouldn't really know what this was like. You're in a hot environment. These big engines create a lot of heat. That's one reason they wanted those fans up there. And they are extremely loud. you need to wear earplugs. I don't even know if we had them way back in the day. They just didn't provide them, and you know nobody thought about it, I guess, you know, and you just didn't have them. What it may have, I don't remember, because for many years we did wear earplugs. But in other words, it's loud, and you can't just talk to someone. They can't hear you. You got to kind of talk to them, explain. If it's something you can't do by making signs or something, you go outside and get away from the noise and make sure they understand. Well, I made sure this boy understood. I explained it all to him, out away from the noise. We went in the facility, and we had to put this piece of conduit up. And I made sure he understood. He had heard the company hand tell us what he told us. And then he heard me going over it right then, right before. And I said, we cannot make a mistake here. This is critical. This is critical. He understood. He got it. Well, we got up on that ladder, and I sent that piece of pipe over to him, and he grabbed it to start it in the coupling and just let go and dropped it right on that rack. Man, I tell you what, you could knock me over with a feather. All of a sudden, it was quiet, except for pressures and, you know, all kinds of stuff going on, because you'd shut down all this pressure, and I thought, oh man, I am fixing to get a royal chewing. And because it's me, it's my fault, not that helper. Even though he did it, I'm where the buck stops. I'm the one in charge of that crew right there. And sure enough, here come that guy. And oh man, I said, I apologize. I apologize. Said, didn't intend for it to happen. And I didn't go into detail. Wasn't any point in it. It was done, and that's all that guy cared about. He didn't care who did it. He just cared that it had been done. And these people were good customers. You know, they took care of us. And right then, we were not taking care of them. So that was the day we shut down Cheers Station by accident, but nonetheless shut it down. Of course, he was calling out and getting Amoco people in there, because it affected out through the field to get this facility going out, all those wells and stuff. It was a big mess. But you know, I don't even remember who that guy was that was working with me. I don't remember his name. I can't remember his face. I don't even remember how long he worked with me. I just can't remember. But I'll never forget that station going down and me being the electrician there. Oh boy, that was really embarrassing. Well, I'm sure all of y'all have experienced some embarrassing things in your lives and careers as well, but that happened to me that day. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to telling some more. Till next time, I'm Mac McCarty saying so long for the Rough and Tumble Channel.